Hey everyone, this is Joe from What I'm Playing Now, and we are here at the booth of Deepwater Games. I'm here with Tiffany Cares. How are you doing, Tiff? It sounds like you're a little tired. You had a rough flight.
Yeah, oh yeah. You love it when a flight turns into a red-eye and you didn't want it to turn into a red-eye. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Coffee is what we're consuming right now? Tons of coffee?
Yeah, actually, in fact, the rest of the interview, I'll just have this in my hand.
All right,
Yeah.
so we're set with coffee. Let's go over some of the games. You guys haven't been around too long, so tell us a little bit about Deepwater Games.
So Deepwater Games started, officially became into existence January, beginning of this year, 2018. And it started by three friends who decided they didn't understand why certain games just weren't available in North America. And they were like, oh, we can do that. So they started Deepwater Games to bring over games that are unavailable or haven't been available in the North American market, primarily from Emperor S4 to start. So Emperor S4 is a Taiwanese company that does some great games. They've had games come out at Essen over the last few years. You've seen some of them come out, kind of trickle into the market here via other publishers. And so Deepwater made a relationship with Emperor S4 kind of just to bring over more of their games, games that have been out for a while, like Roundhouse, or games that are just coming out. And so we started the year with 3 releases right out of the bat. We are now halfway through the year, and we have 8 titles.
So, that's aggressive.
Yeah. We have 7 titles available here in the booth. I'm trying to think. Actually, we have 6 titles available for sale from Emperor S4 Games. The 7th one didn't make it.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah.
Is it shipping late, or is it just not going to be here?
It's Hansi. If you know anything about Hansi, they arrived to the warehouse the day after we shipped our games here to be for sale.
Oh, wow.
So, a day late, a dollar short for Hansi.
But it looks like you still got some great games on the tables here. So I guess since we're over by Herbalism, let's check out this one real quick, and maybe we'll work our way down and shoot a little video on all of them.
Yeah, so Herbalism is a game, it's for 3 to 4 players, and I like to say that it's the herb card counting game that you never knew you wanted. So you are herbalists and you're trying to find the herb combination that will be the cure for the disease that's currently plaguing the nation.
Okay. Coffee break?
Take a hit of coffee. So what's going to happen is there's a deck of cards, and we all know the distribution of what are in these cards because everywhere the iconography shows the color or symbol of the card, it shows how many with the little pips.
All right.
So there's 4 green, 5 blue, 3 yellow, 2 pink in this deck. And everybody always knows that. And we take this deck, we shuffle it, we take 2 cards, we put them out. These are the answer. And then the rest of the deck, we equally distribute to every player. So if we're playing 4 players, everybody gets 3 cards, so on. Then we start asking each other questions. And so I would maybe ask you, I would be like, okay, I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to inquire, this table is wobbly. I'm going to inquire about this one. And so what this means is I'm going to secretly pass you that card.
Okay.
I'll do that. And then if this was your hand, you would look at it. And I said this one. So you would see the color I passed you, you would have to give me all of the cards you have of the other color that's on this card.
All right.
So you would pass me maybe a card back, secretly face down. And everybody else knows I passed him a card, he passed me a card. But, so we know via deduction that there's at least one of each of these out. So if you have more cards in your hand, you've learned more information. But if he had perhaps passed me 2 cards, we would know more information. Like I passed maybe 1 blue and he got me 2 pink. Or maybe I passed 1 pink and he got me 2 blue. We don't know. Maybe he doesn't pass me any cards. Then we know he doesn't have one of the other colors. And so that's just one of the questions that you can ask. But by doing those and passing cards, you pay attention to other people's turns to pick up information to see if you can be the first one to guess what these 2 cards are. First person to successfully guess what these 2 cards are will get 3 points. There's other ways that you can get points by hedging, kind of like making early guesses and things like that, but it's a game where you play first person to 7 points, or you can say first person to 5 points, something like that. Play longer, shorter, as you like. So yeah, it's a really simple deduction game that isn't a social deduction game, which is another reason why I like it. It's logical deduction. So if you're bad at lying, there's no lying in this game. Absolutely none at all. So yeah.
I like the playmat comes with it?
No, the playmat
playmat's
we use
extra?
for demos.
Okay.
It's pretty.
Because I was going to say, it looks very nice on the table.
It does, yeah. It looks really good without the playmat, but the playmat does like crank it up a notch.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's that darn Nolan Nasser just always making playmats. So yeah, Nolan Nasser is our CEO. He's a board game illustrator.
Okay.
And artist, and so usually does more sci-fi fantasy stuff. But yeah, it's what happens when you have a CEO that's an artist.
I think he knocked it out of the park with this one. I think it fits the theme perfectly.
Yep. It's very pretty. So yeah, what else? What else? We have so many tabs. I could have you here for 30 minutes if we really.
We want to jump back here?
Yeah, we can do that. So this is Shadows in Kyoto. This is our 2-player game. If you're familiar with Hanamakoji.
Sorry. No worries.
So this is our 2-player game. If you're familiar with Hanamakoji, this is the basically sister sequel. So it's the same universe, except for in this one we're talking about, we have the government and then we have the mafia. And so one player takes on mafia, one player takes on the government. And you are, for the base game, everybody has the same distribution in their 2 decks. And so it's a symmetrical game, except for the agents. Everybody has a 0, a 1, 2 2s, and 2 3s. But you get to decide where your agents are.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right? And then for setup. And then, as we play the game, some agents have secret information. And those are the agents that you want to get to the other side of the board. So I want to get one of my agents that have secret information to the home row on the other side. If I do that, I win. However, if my opponent manages to capture both of my agents that have secret information, I lose. But if I can trick them into capturing 3 of my agents that have no information, I win. So it's a game where you're moving your characters across the board using cards. So this card, I would say I am allowed to move onto a yellow spot. Can't actually do that.
So you have to move to like an adjacent spot then?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it can be diagonal or diagonal. So this one's a wild, so I can move anywhere. So I could be like, oh, I'm going to move to the blue, right? And as you move forward, you're trying to get closer. But if you move onto a square where an opponent is, you as the attacker gets to look at the opponents, and if the number is less than yours, you defeat them. But if it's not, you just put it back and you retreat. But they don't know what I attacked with.
Okay.
Right? So on their turn, they could come at me.
Right.
But in this case, if they did, they would get an agent that has no information. So I've just successfully got them to do a dummy capture.
Okay.
So this one, there's 3 different win conditions. Once you get the hang of the base game, there are asymmetrical player powers that you can add into the deck, and people can use these as one-time use items. Also, there are characters that have additional powers, and these are the geishas and agents from the Hanamakoji game. And they can do different things throughout the game. Okay. And each player has different ones.
Looks like it has a little, we're gonna go old school here, Stratego influence here.
Yes. I myself will not use that word, but you are welcome to.
I had to say that. I'm sorry.
No, that's
But
fine.
I was like, when you start moving them around, and I was like, and I start seeing the numbers, I'm like, man, this reminds me of a game from my teenage years, probably.
Yeah. Oh, no, for sure.
A little bit of influence there, but
It's
I
a
like the
little
way this looks.
faster.
And this definitely looks like something we would enjoy.
Yeah, I really like it. I've never won. I love this game. I like to play it. I kick butt at Stratego, by the way. No one will play me. But like this one, I just can't do it.
When we always play, I'm used to that as well. I always lose to her, so it's part of the whole series.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, that's this one. It's $25 MSRP, and it's available now at your friendly local game store.
Okay, and that's
So, yeah.
Shadows in Kyoto. Cool.
Yep. So at this table we have Roundhouse and Sorcerer and Stones. So Roundhouse is the heavier Euro title from Emperor S4 Games.
That's definitely the one I'm interested in.
Yeah.
That's my wheelhouse right there. Give me a
So-
heavy hero, so that's where I'm looking.
It's a rondel movement worker placement game where you're gathering resources and then using them to complete contracts. You're hiring apprentices to help you complete contracts, to also help you gain favor in the temples. There's different paths to victory, not just the contracts. And so it's one of those games where every time you play, you can try a different strategy. The different cards and experts that come up that you purchase will influence you to try certain things that maybe you haven't tried in previous games. And the interesting thing is it can actually go up to 5 players. and
Oh, wow,
it
okay.
supports 2 to 5 rather well.
Okay.
I have not played it at a player count that I did not enjoy. The one criticism, of course, with everything that goes to 5 players is it can run a little
Run a little
long
longer?
when you have 5 players. So.
As long as it's good, the presentation looks great from looking at it, but as long as the play is good, a little longer sometimes never hurts.
Oh yeah, especially if some days you want a game day to be a game day.
And I'm completely fine with that. As long as the game can keep me engaged and I'm having fun playing with the group that I'm playing with, I have no problem with.
Perfect.
I'm one of those people that's, like I said, the way you described it, worker placement, Rondell, and everything, you said some of my favorite words all right there. All in that one sentence. I was
There
like,
you
okay,
go.
I already want to play this one.
Yeah, awesome. So that's Roundhouse. It's a bigger game. It's $50 MSRP. And yeah, that one we Kickstarted, and it's shipping to Kickstarter backers now, and it's available here at the show, or it'll be available in stores in a couple weeks.
All right.
Next
Then we got Sorcerer in the Stones.
Yeah, we have Sorcerer in Stones. The sneaks in there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. I said that. I looked and I was like, oh, there's no there.
There's a movie from
Yes.
the younger years, that has it. So Sorcerer in Stones is a game where you are Taoists, and you are working on manipulating the elements to try and refine your ki. And so in the game, you'll play cards that allow you to physically manipulate the world. So you can rotate tiles, you can shift tiles.
Oh, interesting.
And the idea is that you want to try, and if you're the green Taoist, you want to try and line it up so that you can do pairs. So on my tile, I want to have elements that line up across tile boards. So at the end of my turn, this brown set lines up, so I would gain this brown stone. I can use this brown stone first when I gain it to move my spirit Taoist in the spirit realm to try and gain additional bonus points. If I can get all the way to the brown token, I'll get 4 points. So there's a little bit of a race element too, because those decrease in value. So the first person to get there will get 4 points, and so on and so forth. But the primary reason you want these stones is as you collect them, if you get the correct ones, you can complete these artifacts, which are 3 points at the end of the game.
I will say, these meeples
Yeah.
look quite incredible.
Aren't they pretty? I just love this.
Those are just gorgeous looking.
Yeah. The presentation of this game is just
That's
beautiful.
it. Definitely makes the game pop when it's sitting on the table.
Yeah, and it's 2 to 4 players. And it's one of those where I really prefer it at 2 and 3 players because I like the manipulation of the world, and I like that in lower player counts the world is more likely to be the way I left it,
Okay.
or planned it to be by the time my turn came around. But yeah, it does play 4 player, and if you're fine with an ever shifting world, it's good at that count too.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's that one.
All right, we got one more. I think we're going to check out over here around the corner, and that's Welcome to.
So, Welcome to is it's our Gen Con release. We have it here as like kind of a sneak preview. Also, as we have a very, very limited number of copies for sale. But the idea is it's a roll and write with no dice. There's actually cards, and so some people call it
Flip and write?
a flip and fill,
Okay.
or a reveal and write. And so there's always 3 options available every round, and you're going to pick one of the 3 options. So you're going to pick one of the house numbers present and write that number in one of your houses. Then there's a bonus action associated with each house number, and you may decide to use that bonus action. You don't have to, but the bonus actions are actually what's going to get you points. So as you use those bonus actions, you'll do things like build city parks, you'll create subdivisions within the neighborhood, you'll build pools, you'll refine and make business addresses, things like that. And those things will help you improve the quality of your neighborhood to help you get points at the end of the game. The other way that you can get points is the city has put out certain objectives that it wants to see in subdivisions.
Okay.
There's 3 for every game that you play, but there's a lot, so every game you're going to have different sets available of objectives. And the first person to achieve the objective gets the most points, but other people can achieve the objectives, they're just going to get less points as the rounds go
All right,
on.
we may have to try this one. I can already see you have a smile on your face, and I think this is one that we're going to like.
It looks like their demo's wrapping up, and so it looks like we've got a group waiting, but you might be able to jump in, because this game can support 1 to 100 players.
That's 1 to 100. There we go.
Yeah.
You just need a lot of dry erase markers.
Well, so actually, I just want to say, So in the base game, it's actually a pad of paper, but for the show, because we didn't want to kill like
Right,
67 trees, we laminated the cards and brought markers so that the booths were a little bit more environmentally friendly. So yeah, the base game is not laminated.
It's still, that's another game that looks cool. I've heard some really good things about this one on some different podcasts and stuff that I listen to. So we're definitely going to have to try to give this one a shot. But
Yeah,
all right,
we'll do demos all weekend.
excellent. Well, I think that's it. We're here at Origins 2018 again. We're at Deepwater Games. I'm here with Tiffany. Tiffany, it was very nice meeting you.
Yeah, very
Thank you for taking some time and spending some time with us this morning.
Thank you.
We're going to let you get back to work. Drink your coffee too. We'll see everybody later. Take care. Thank you.